Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Sasha Jenkins, a pioneering journalist, filmmaker, and cultural historian, was born in 1970 in Philadelphia and raised in Queens, New York. From an early age, Jenkins was drawn to the vibrant world around him: graffiti, hip-hop, punk music, and channeled that energy into storytelling that captured the heartbeat of urban America. Over 3 decades, he became a defining voice in journalism and documentary filmmaking, chronicling culture with both depth and edge. Jenkins began his career in the late 1980s by creating graphic scenes and explicit language, one of the first zines focused on graffiti and street art. He quickly emerged as a bold and thoughtful chronicler of hip-hop culture, co-founding Beatdown, and later the influential magazine Ego Trip, where his mix of fearless commentary and sharp wit redefined music journalism for a new generation. As his career evolved, Jenkins brought his storytelling talents to film and television. He directed a number of acclaimed documentaries, including Fresh Dressed, Bitchin', The Sound and Fury of Rick James, and the Emmy-nominated series Wu-Tang Clan, of Mics and Men. His work was known for its raw honesty, cultural insight, and deep respect for the communities he portrayed. Beyond his career, Jenkins was a loving husband and father, and the son of 2 artists, a legacy that shaped his creative path. In his final chapter, he faced complications from multiple system atrophy with grace, continuing to create and inspire. Sasha Jenkins passed away on May 23, 2025, at the age of 54. His passing marked the loss of a bold and irreplaceable voice in American media. Yet his legacy lives on, in every story he told, every voice he uplifted, and every truth he helped the world see more clearly. Phil Robertson's life was a tapestry woven with resilience, tradition, and deep devotion to family and faith. Long before the world came to know him through the A&E hit series Duck Dynasty, he had already built something remarkable, not just a business, but a way of life rooted in the bayous of Louisiana. As the founder of Duck Commander, Phil turned a single handcrafted duck call into a nationally recognized brand, all while keeping his feet firmly planted in his values. At its peak, Duck Dynasty drew millions of viewers, but the true heart of the show was always Phil, wise, humble, and fiercely loyal. His love for storytelling and the outdoors made audiences feel like they were part of the family, gathered around the fire or sharing supper on the porch. Through the screen, he offered more than entertainment. He offered a return to something simple, something real. Yet behind the scenes, Phil's journey included seasons of hardship. In his younger days, he wrestled with personal demons, but it was through faith that he found restoration. His transformation became a testimony, a living reminder that redemption is possible, no matter how far one may have strayed. In recent months, Phil faced the weight of illness with quiet courage. Diagnosed with Alzheimer's and a serious blood condition, his health declined, but his spirit never dimmed. Surrounded by generations of loved ones, he was cared for with the same love he had poured into them throughout his life. Phil Robertson didn't just live a good life, he lived a meaningful one. His legacy isn't just in duck calls or television ratings. It's in the countless hearts he touched with his words, his humor, and his unwavering belief in what matters most. Breaking news: Leonardo DiCaprio, a journey of talent, activism, and resilience. Leonardo DiCaprio, a name synonymous with exceptional talent and a relentless commitment to both the craft of acting and global advocacy, continues to inspire millions worldwide. With a career spanning more than 3 decades, Leonardo DiCaprio has become one of Hollywood's most revered figures, showcasing unparalleled versatility and a deep passion for environmental conservation. Today, we explore the life of this iconic actor, celebrating his achievements, understanding his challenges, and honoring the profound impact he has made. Leonardo DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. He was raised in a modest household that nurtured his creativity. His mother, Irmelin Indenbirken, played a pivotal role in encouraging his dreams. From a young age, Leonardo DiCaprio's charisma and ambition set him apart, leading to his first appearances in television commercials and series. Leonardo DiCaprio's breakthrough came in the 1993 film What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where his emotionally powerful performance as Arnie Grape earned him his first Academy Award nomination. However, it was his role as Jack Dawson in James Cameron's Titanic, released in 1997, that cemented his place as a global sensation. The film's unprecedented success catapulted Leonardo DiCaprio to stardom, but he was determined to avoid being typecast as merely a romantic lead. Leonardo DiCaprio's career choices after Titanic exemplify his commitment to artistic growth. He collaborated with legendary directors such as Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, and Quentin Tarantino to deliver compelling performances in films like The Aviator, released in 2004, Inception, released in 2010, and The Wolf of Wall Street, released in 2013. His portrayal of Hugh Glass in The Revenant, released in 2015, earned him his long-awaited Academy Award for Best Actor, a testament to his dedication and transformative performances. In a recent reunion with Kate Winslet at the screening of the film Lee, Leonardo DiCaprio expressed heartfelt admiration for his Titanic co-star, calling her one of the greatest talents of our generation. This touching moment highlighted the enduring friendships he has cultivated throughout his career, adding a deeply personal dimension to his professional journey. Despite his success, Leonardo DiCaprio has faced challenges both personally and professionally. Managing the global fame that came with Titanic was no small feat, and he worked tirelessly to diversify his roles and prove his range as an actor. Additionally, as a vocal environmental activist, Leonardo DiCaprio has occasionally faced criticism regarding his personal carbon footprint, particularly his use of private jets. While these critiques have sparked debates, Leonardo DiCaprio has remained steadfast in his advocacy, emphasizing the urgent need for climate action and supporting numerous conservation initiatives. Leonardo DiCaprio continues to balance his career in acting with his environmental activism. He recently celebrated his 50th birthday in the company of Hollywood luminaries, including Brad Pitt, Robert De Niro, and Steven Spielberg, demonstrating his lasting influence and camaraderie in the industry. Professionally, Leonardo DiCaprio is working on exciting new projects that promise to captivate audiences once again. His dedication to impactful storytelling remains a cornerstone of his career, showcasing his enduring relevance in an ever-evolving industry. Beyond the screen, Leonardo DiCaprio's environmental efforts through the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation have raised millions for climate change awareness, wildlife conservation, and renewable energy projects. His powerful speech at the United Nations in 2016 on climate change solidified his position as a global advocate for sustainability, proving that his influence extends far beyond Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio's contributions to film and activism have left an indelible mark on the world. His ability to blend artistic brilliance with a genuine commitment to societal change makes him a role model for generations to come. Reflecting on his journey, we are reminded of the resilience, passion, and humility that define him. Leonardo DiCaprio's story is one of perseverance and purpose, proving that true greatness lies not only in personal success, but in using one's platform to inspire and enact change. As we celebrate Leonardo DiCaprio's extraordinary legacy, what moments from his career or advocacy resonate most deeply with you? Share your thoughts and favorite memories in the comments below, and let us honor the remarkable journey of this Hollywood icon. Gena Rowlands, a radiant force in American cinema, brought depth, courage, and honesty to every character she portrayed. Born in 1930 to a progressive family in Wisconsin, Gena carried with her a quiet strength shaped by her artistic mother and an early love for storytelling. Her journey took her from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York to the heart of Hollywood's most groundbreaking independent films. Her partnership with filmmaker John Cassavetes was the cornerstone of her creative life. Married in 1954, their bond as husband and wife, and as collaborators, produced some of the most daring and emotionally raw films of their time. A Woman Under the Influence, Gloria, Opening Night. These roles earned Gena 2 Oscar nominations and widespread acclaim for her fearless portrayals of women navigating profound emotional landscapes. Yet Gena's path wasn't without its challenges. She spoke openly about the emotional toll of certain roles and the vulnerability required to tell such complex stories. Later in life, after decades of powerful performances, she faced her most personal challenge, living with Alzheimer's disease, a journey made public by her son, filmmaker Nick Cassavetes. Despite the hardships, Gena never lost her luminous spirit. In 2015, she was honored with an Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement, a testament to her extraordinary contributions to film and the generations she inspired. Gena passed peacefully at home at the age of 94, surrounded by her family. Her legacy is etched into every frame of the films she helped create, in the lives she touched, and in the powerful truth she brought to the screen. Gena Rowlands showed us that to live many lives through art is to leave behind a story that never fades. Mike Peters, frontman of the Welsh rock band The Alarm, was more than a musician. He was a beacon of resilience, hope, and unwavering spirit. Born in Prestatyn, Wales, Mike began his journey in music during the late 1970s, rising from local punk roots to international acclaim. With The Alarm, he gave the world anthems like 68 Guns and Rain in the Summertime, songs that rang with purpose, passion, and unity. His energy on stage was matched only by the sincerity of his lyrics, and his music resonated deeply across generations. But Mike's story wasn't just about music, it was about courage. Diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 1995, he faced repeated battles with blood cancer, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia and Richter syndrome. Despite setbacks, he never stopped creating, touring, and living with unshakable positivity. He once called his journey with illness like fighting a war, but he faced it head-on, determined to inspire others. Together with his wife, Jules, who also fought cancer, Mike co-founded the Love, Hope, Strength Foundation. Their mission brought music to new heights, including a concert on Mount Everest, and helped register thousands of bone marrow donors worldwide. Mike passed away peacefully at 66, following a long and courageous health journey. Even in his final months, he remained hopeful, engaging in advanced therapies, and continuing to write and perform. In 2019, he was awarded an MBE for his services to cancer care, a reflection of how deeply he touched lives far beyond the stage. Mike Peters reminded us to live with purpose, to sing with heart, and to never give up, even when the path ahead is uncertain. His voice will echo on, not only through his music, but through every life he helped uplift. Joe Don Baker, a commanding presence in American film and television for over 4 decades, will be remembered for his deep voice, rugged charisma, and the unforgettable roles he brought to life. Born in Groesbeck, Texas in 1936, Joe Don's journey from small-town roots to Hollywood fame began after military service and training at the prestigious Actors Studio in New York. Though he started with small roles, it was his performance as Buford Pusser in Walking Tall that turned him into a star. With a homemade bat and unwavering resolve, Joe Don captured the spirit of justice in a film that struck a chord with audiences and critics alike. It was a breakout role that spoke to the times, and one that never faded from public memory. Joe Don went on to play an astonishing range of characters, a charming schemer in Junior Bonner, a relentless hitman in Charlie Varick, a baseball legend in The Natural, and both villain and ally in the James Bond universe. Whether standing on the side of the law or against it, he brought authenticity and gravity to every role. Though fiercely private, Joe Don's work revealed a deep understanding of human nature, flawed, proud, loyal, and bold. He portrayed soldiers, sheriffs, senators, and everyday men with equal sincerity. His final role in Mud in 2012 marked the close of a remarkable career. Joe Don passed at age 89, surrounded by a small but devoted circle of friends. Though no cause was shared, the memory of his life is filled with moments that left a lasting imprint on the screen and in the hearts of those who watched him. He reminded us that true power doesn't shout, it listens, and great acting, like great storytelling, lives on. Lar Park Lincoln, a cherished presence in television and film, left behind a legacy defined by resilience, creativity, and generosity. Born in 1961 in Dallas, Texas, Lar's journey through the entertainment world spanned over 45 years. Years that saw her transform from an aspiring actress into a beloved mentor for the next generation. She first captured hearts in 1988's Friday the 13th, Part 7. The New Blood as Tina Shepard, a character known not only for her telekinetic powers, but also for the strength and vulnerability Lar brought to the screen. Horror fans crowned her a scream queen, but she was so much more, a gifted actress who embraced every role with passion. Her talent shone again on Knots Landing, where she portrayed Linda Fairgate. Over several seasons, Lar's portrayal of Linda's layered and complex character left a lasting impression on viewers and colleagues alike. She later brought her skills to series like Murder, She Wrote, 90210, and Freddy's Nightmares, continuing to deliver performances full of life and nuance. Lar's journey wasn't without challenge. She faced a battle with breast cancer and the personal loss of her husband in 2015. Yet she remained a light for others, founding Actors Audition Studios to help aspiring talents navigate the industry with integrity and confidence. Her 2008 memoir, Get Started Not Scammed, empowered many with honest guidance. Lar passed on April 22, 2025, at the age of 63, surrounded by love. She is survived by her children, grandchildren, and the countless actors she guided with wisdom and care. Her impact lives on, in every performance, every lesson she shared, and in every person inspired by her example. Lar Park Lincoln showed us what it means to lead with heart, grace, and courage. Ángel Salazar, known to millions as the unforgettable Chichi from Scarface, left an indelible mark on both cinema and comedy. Born in Cuba in 1956, Ángel fled to the United States at a young age, carrying with him a passion for performance that would later define his life. He began his career in New York's comedy clubs, where his electric stage presence and signature phrase, "Check it out," quickly made him a crowd favorite. In 1983, Ángel earned his most iconic role, playing Chichi, the loyal sidekick to Al Pacino's Tony Montana in Scarface. His portrayal brought grit, charm, and heart to the legendary film, and his character became a symbol of fierce loyalty and humor amid the film's intense world. Ángel returned to the screen with Pacino again in Carlito's Way, continuing a legacy of memorable performances. Beyond his work in film, Ángel appeared in numerous television series including In Living Color, On Our Own, and Last Comic Standing. His love for stand-up comedy remained a constant, with performances continuing up until the summer of 2024. He also appeared in the documentary The Latin Legends of Comedy, celebrating the power and heritage of Latino humor. Ángel passed on August 11, 2024, at the age of 68. His passing was attributed to complications from acute intoxication, with heart conditions also contributing. Though the circumstances were tragic, his life was filled with laughter, resilience, and creative expression. He is remembered not just for his roles on screen, but for the warmth he shared with audiences and friends alike. Ángel Salazar's legacy lives on through the laughter he inspired, the stories he told, and the fearless energy he brought to every stage and screen. Bob Bryar, the longest-serving drummer for My Chemical Romance, left a legacy of power, passion, and unmistakable rhythm. Born in 1979, Bob's journey into music began behind the scenes, as a sound engineer for bands like Thrice and The Used, before fate brought him on tour with My Chemical Romance in 2004. That encounter would change the course of his life, as he soon joined the band just after the release of their breakthrough album, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. From the very beginning, Bob brought more than beats. He brought heart. His drumming shaped the band's sound on The Black Parade, one of the most celebrated rock albums of the 2000s. Fans will always remember the thunderous energy he brought to live shows, including a sold-out performance at Madison Square Garden, one of Bob's most cherished memories. Yet Bob's story was also marked by quiet struggles. He stepped away from the band before their 2010 album Danger Days, and eventually retired from drumming in 2021 due to health concerns. His reflections on his time with the band revealed both the depth of his passion and the emotional weight he carried. Bob passed in November 2024 at the age of 44. Though found near canisters of nitrous oxide, the official cause of his passing was ruled undetermined due to the complexities of the scene. He was remembered by his bandmates and fans alike for his talent, humor, and immense impact on the emo rock scene. Bob Bryar didn't just play in a band, he was part of a movement that gave voice to a generation. His beats remain in our hearts, and his story reminds us that behind the music we love are real people whose spirit lives on in every note. Larry Tamblyn, a rock and roll pioneer and the unmistakable voice behind the Standells, lived a life defined by rhythm, resilience, and a deep love for music. Born on February 5, 1943 in Los Angeles, Larry found his calling early, recording solo tracks in the 1950s before founding one of the most iconic garage rock bands of the 1960s, the Standells. With hits like Dirty Water, Larry and the Standells captured a raw, infectious energy that echoed through radios and concert halls across America. The song climbed to number 11 on the Billboard charts and became an enduring anthem, especially in Boston, where it still blares triumphantly at Red Sox and Bruins home games. Larry's raspy vocals and commanding presence at the keyboard gave the band its signature edge. The Standells weren't just a sound, they were a spirit. They appeared on The Munsters, in cult films like Riot on Sunset Strip, and brought gritty, unfiltered energy to a generation seeking something real. Larry's influence extended beyond the stage. He was part of a famous family, brother to actor Russ Tamblin and uncle to actress Amber Tamblyn, but he carved his own distinct path. In 2009, he revived the Standells, and in 2014, led them on a national tour, their first in decades. In 2023, he was honored with an induction into the California Music Hall of Fame, introduced proudly by his brother Russ. Until his final days, Larry never stopped performing, never stopped creating. Larry Tamblyn passed on March 21, 2025, at the age of 82. His legacy isn't just in the songs he wrote or the shows he played. It's in the hearts of fans who felt his music and the countless artists he inspired. His life was one long encore, and the applause will never fade. Kathleen Hughes, one of Hollywood's classic screen beauties and beloved scream queens, leaves behind a legacy that glows with charm, determination, and cinematic magic. Born Elizabeth Margaret von Gherkin in 1928 in Los Angeles, Kathleen knew early that she belonged in the world of storytelling. Tall, striking, and full of ambition, she proved every skeptic wrong, including her own uncle, who once said she'd never make it because she was too tall for the screen. She began her film career at Fox in the late 1940s and became a regular face in 1950s Hollywood. But it was in It Came from Outer Space, 1953, that Kathleen truly made her mark. Though her part was small, her iconic scream, captured in a single still, became a symbol of the era's fascination with sci-fi and fear, and immortalized her in pop culture history. She called it one good scene, and it became an unforgettable one. Kathleen faced career hurdles with grace. After Fox let her go, she fought her way into Universal, pushed for roles she believed in, and carved out a niche in a male-dominated industry. She brought fierce presence to films like The Glass Web, Three Bad Sisters, and The Golden Blade, and appeared in countless beloved television shows: Perry Mason, I Dream of Jeannie, MASH, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents, to name a few. In her personal life, Kathleen shared nearly 60 years of marriage with producer Stanley Rubin. She passed peacefully at age 96, remembered not only for her screen legacy, but also for her wit, resilience, and warmth. Kathleen Hughes reminded us that even a fleeting moment on screen can last forever. Her story, like that iconic scream, will echo through time. Sophie Nyweide was a bright, talented spirit, whose time with us was far too short, yet deeply meaningful. Known for her roles in films like Mammoth, An Invisible Sign, and Noah, Sophie began acting at a young age, quickly capturing the attention of audiences and critics with her thoughtful presence and soulful gaze. She had that rare gift, an ability to convey deep emotion with quiet strength. Born in 2000, Sophie found early success in Hollywood, acting alongside celebrated names like Jessica Alba, Russell Crowe, and Michelle Williams. But behind the curtain, Sophie carried a private world filled with challenges. Her art, her drawings and writings, spoke volumes about the struggles she faced and the trauma she endured. As her family lovingly shared, her creativity served as both an outlet and a mirror to her soul. Sophie passed on April 14, 2025, at the age of 24. She was pregnant at the time, and her family, in their profound grief, spoke with honesty and courage about the pain she carried and the efforts made by so many to help her heal. Though an official cause is still pending, her loved ones believe her death was a heartbreaking result of self-medication and trauma that she tried to manage on her own. Through her films, Sophie leaves a legacy of empathy, talent, and truth. And through her story, we are reminded of the urgent need for compassion, for better systems of support, and for open conversations about mental health and healing. Sophie's light touched many, and though she's no longer with us, the impact of her life and the lessons it holds will not be forgotten. Her story is a call for kindness, understanding, and love. Samuel French was more than a rising star in film. He was a beacon of quiet strength, resilience, and heart. Born in Waco, Texas in 1980, Samuel lived a life grounded in his roots, and it was that authenticity that made his performances so powerful. From his earliest days on screen in Texas Rising, to his compelling portrayal of FBI agent C.J. Robinson in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, Samuel brought an unmatched honesty to his roles. It was at a local casting call in Waco that fate stepped in. Scorsese saw something special in him. On his very first day on set, Samuel shared a scene with Robert De Niro, and afterward, the legendary director told him, "No one could have played Robertson as well as you did." That moment, like much of Samuel's work, was rooted in sincerity and quiet brilliance. Samuel's passion for acting only deepened in his final film, Towpath, where he portrayed Detective Bernard Crook. Director Paul Sinecore called his performance fearless, saying Samuel carried a fire for acting that burned in every frame. Though cancer eventually claimed his body, it never dimmed his spirit. He continued filming, creating, and dreaming to the very end. He passed away on May 9, 2025, at age 45. Samuel leaves behind a daughter, Madison, whom he adored, his longtime partner Melinda, his parents, and brothers. His final role, like his life, was filled with purpose, and his story reminds us that greatness often rises quietly, far from the spotlight. Samuel French may have left us too soon, but his legacy, rooted in talent, humility, and love, will live on in every frame he graced and every life he touched. Nathaniel "Nate" Pelier was more than just a familiar face on When Calls the Heart. He was part of the soul of the show. A dedicated member of both the cast and crew, Nate graced the screen as the friendly taxi driver, and behind the scenes, he played an indispensable role in the transportation department. His presence touched every corner of the production, and the void he leaves is deeply felt. Nate passed away suddenly at his home in Langley, British Columbia, on April 11, 2025, at the age of 53. While the cause of his passing remains unknown, the loss is profound. He was known for his kindness, his generous spirit, and the infectious warmth he brought to every room, always ready with a handshake, a smile, and a helping hand before anyone even had to ask. His co-stars described him as a gentle soul, a friend who brought calm, humor, and heart to long days on set. Martin Cummins shared moving words about the time they spent together, both in the Blue Room and out in the woods near Hope Valley. Moments of quiet companionship that meant more than any camera roll ever could. The Hallmark family and the loyal Hardee's community mourned together, remembering Nate not just as an actor, but as someone who genuinely loved his work family, the people he rode with, laughed with, and served alongside. Nate is survived by his daughter, siblings, parents, and a large extended family who loved him dearly. He will be remembered for his humility, his laughter, and his unwavering dedication to the people and projects he loved. Rest gently, Nate. Your heart and your legacy will always be part of Hope Valley. Breaking news. Behind the fame. Will and Jada Smith's untold story of power, pain, and public pressure. For decades, the Smith family has captivated audiences not only with their talents, but also with their complex, evolving presence in the cultural spotlight. Will Smith, the global superstar who once danced through our screens as the Fresh Prince, and Jada Pinkett Smith, the fiercely independent actress and talk show host, have built a legacy that is as celebrated as it is scrutinized. But fame is rarely without cost. As the layers of their public image peel back, one must ask, what truths lie beneath the glamour, the awards, and the viral headlines? The Oscar slap heard around the world. It was the 2022 Academy Awards that shifted the narrative forever. During the ceremony, comedian Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, referencing G.I. Jane, while she publicly navigated the emotional toll of alopecia. The world watched in disbelief as Will Smith, initially smiling, suddenly walked on stage and struck Chris Rock. Returning to his seat, he shouted words that echoed far beyond that theater. The moment became a cultural flashpoint. Was this the act of a devoted husband defending his wife's dignity? Or did it reveal deeper, unspoken fractures within the Smith family dynamic? For many, it sparked not just outrage or support, but curiosity about what led to that reaction. Entanglements and emotional fallout. The slap brought renewed attention to an earlier moment of vulnerability shared by Will and Jada on Red Table Talk. Years before, Jada had revealed her entanglement with singer August Alsina while still married to Will. Her admission was met with widespread fascination, but what truly lingered in the public's memory was Will's expression, pained, quiet, and deeply human. Though the couple had previously characterized their marriage as open, Jada's openness in describing the affair left many questioning the nature of their bond. Was there an imbalance in emotional power? Was the man who played heroes on screen now carrying silent heartbreak, a pattern of pressure? The re-emergence of an old incident. As scrutiny intensified, another incident resurfaced. In 1989, Will Smith had been involved in a physical altercation that left a man seriously injured. Though charges were dropped, the event, long buried, took on new relevance. Observers drew parallels between that moment and the Oscars confrontation, suggesting that beneath Will's charm may lie a history of reactive pressure when under stress. Interestingly, both incidents occurred during peak moments in his career. Could it be that success and stress have always walked hand in hand for Will Smith? Rumors, rivalries, and public tension. Around the same time that Jada's relationship with August Alsina made headlines, whispers of a rumored connection between Will Smith and actress Margot Robbie began circulating. The two had starred together in the film Focus, and though no affair was confirmed, the rumors alone added another dimension to the public's interpretation of the Smiths' marriage. Jada herself has been open about internal biases, such as her discomfort around white women with blonde hair stemming from her own childhood trauma. She addressed this honestly on Red Table Talk, sparking both praise and criticism. Some viewers wondered if such feelings could have intensified tensions with Margot Robbie, adding yet another layer to the narrative. The Scientology connection, fact or speculation? Another controversial thread has woven its way through the Smith story, their rumored ties to Scientology. Though the family has denied formal affiliation, reports from 2008 claim that Will and Jada invested nearly $1 million in a school said to be based on Scientology principles. The school, which Jaden and Willow attended, closed in 2013, but questions remain. In the aftermath of the Oscars, some speculated that Scientology's rumored beliefs about physical discipline might have played a subconscious role in Will's response. These theories remain unverified, but the speculation has undeniably colored public discourse. Parenting in the public eye. Will and Jada have always embraced a progressive parenting style, granting Jaden and Willow considerable freedom in their personal and artistic choices. While some admire this approach for its trust and openness, others, particularly within Hollywood, have been more critical. Leaked Sony emails once suggested that the Smith children were difficult to work with and described them as entitled or non-compliant in structured settings. Behind closed doors, even Will and Jada may not always agree. Will is believed to support pushing his children into the spotlight, while Jada often acts as the emotional buffer. Their contrasting styles of parenting add yet another complex layer to the family's already dynamic image. A family under the microscope. As more layers of their personal lives unfold, the Smiths find themselves living under the magnifying glass of public opinion. From old controversies to fresh rumors, their every move is dissected. The image once held of a picture-perfect Hollywood family has evolved into something more complex, some say more real. And perhaps that is what keeps audiences so intrigued. This is not a story of perfection. It is a story of duality, success and struggle, transparency and mystery, pride and vulnerability. Will Smith, hero, husband, human. For Will Smith, the journey from Fresh Prince to international film icon has been nothing short of remarkable. He has shaped culture, inspired generations, and shown time and again that he is willing to take risks. But as the pressures of fame, family, and identity converge, even he has found himself exposed in ways he never imagined. Some see him as a man protecting his wife, others see a symbol of a deeper, private storm. But what few deny is that he is human, flawed, passionate, and still searching. Jada Pinkett Smith, bold voice or controversial figure. Jada, too, has walked a complicated path. Her boldness on Red Table Talk gave a voice to uncomfortable conversations about mental health, race, and womanhood. But with honesty comes exposure, and with exposure comes judgment. Her willingness to share her truth, whether about her marriage, her biases, or her struggles, has drawn both admiration and criticism. It is this duality that makes her so compelling and so polarizing. What does the future hold? The Smith family's story is far from over. Whether they continue as public figures or step back to live more privately, their legacy is already secured, not just as entertainers, but as people who dared to live out loud. So what do you think? Has the Smith family's story inspired you, surprised you, or made you reflect on the cost of living under the spotlight? Leave a comment below, share your thoughts, and let us know. Are the Smiths a cautionary tale or a symbol of modern resilience? And do not forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of public figures who shape our culture and challenge our expectations.